What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm very excited because this is a kickboxing channel and I'm actually going to show you how to throw a kick, particularly a Muay Thai roundhouse kick. Now, just like in combat sports, which involves kicks, there's several ways you can kick. There's the Taekwondo kick, there is Dutch kickboxing, different kinds of kickboxing, American kickboxing, but in this case I'm gonna do a Muay Thai roundhouse kick because from my experience, it just deems to be the most powerful kick out of all of them. Now, is it the most effective? In my opinion, I would say so because there's different ways to throw it, but I'm gonna show you the way where you actually get the most power out of it. So that just like punches, you know the basics. Now, just like with any other video, before I show you on the bag, I'm gonna first show you what I'm doing with the motions of my body. Because with the kick, you're using all the extremities of your body. They're all working together pretty much in one motion for you to be able to pull the kick off with a lot of power. So I'm gonna back up a little bit because I'm gonna show you starting with what I'm gonna do with my feet. It all starts from the feet, just like anything else, okay? So I'm gonna back up over here, and what I'm gonna do is notice my footing first, okay? Now, I'm gonna get in my fight stand, hands up again, like always, guys. I'm always gonna mention that, just like in all my other videos, but hands up, get into your fight stance. And what I'm gonna do, notice my foot, back up just a little bit more. Notice my foot here. My lead foot is gonna step out at an angle a little bit, going towards this way. This way, to the left, okay? I'm gonna step, I'm gonna take a minor step, and then I'm gonna lift my heel up and I'm gonna be on my toes. So it's gonna look like this. Kind of like that. I'm gonna step at an angle and I'm going to go on my toes where my heel is off the floor. The reason why I want to step off angle is because when I actually kick and put my body in motion, I need enough space for my body to turn all the way around. And you're gonna know what I'm talking about when I do the kicks. So when I step this way, when I step to the left, my body is gonna automatically turn when I lift my feet up to kick. If I were to just go straight, if I were to just to step straight and I kick, look, there's not that much room. There's not that much room for me to turn my hip over. And the most important part of the kick, I would argue, are the turning over the hips because that's where you're generating the most power. So again, I'm gonna take this very slowly and take it step by step and be a little bit tediously repetitive when I'm explaining this because it does seem to have the most description out of all the like punches, kicks, elbows, okay? The kick is very complex at first. So I'm gonna break it down into steps. So again, hands up, you wanna step at an angle to your left if you're an orthodox. If your dominant is your back foot and your lead is your left foot, you wanna step to the left, okay? Step, again, toes up. So do this motion, toes up, heel up, right there. Again, that's gonna give you the space to turn your hip all the way over when we kick. And again, you'll know what I'm talking about when I actually kick. So angle, take a small step, toes up, heel off the ground. Look, I'm automatically lifting up. You see? It's getting my body to lift up. The second step of this process is the hand motion. Now this hand over here, as I'm stepping and ready to go, I'm gonna step first, and when my hip or my foot starts coming off the ground to actually kick the bag, my hand is going to act like a pendulum. A funny analogy that my coach had was act like you're throwing it as a ninja star. So like this is the motion. Watch, I'll do it all together with the step. Notice I'm still, the only job that your left hand has, your non-dominant hand, is to keep your face protected, okay? So as I swing my hand like a ninja star, as I step and swing it like a ninja star, notice my hand is just coming up to my face to keep me protected. And of course, I'll show you that as well in the future video, but it's just there for protection. Always have your hands up, okay? When it comes to fighting. So again, I'm gonna do the step, toes up, heel off the ground. It's like I'm chopping or throwing in a ninja star. This is very important, guys, because not only, the reason for this is not only are you protecting yourself as you go up and kick, because you will be off balance. Anytime you punch, anytime you kick, that means you're exposed and are off balance, which means you're susceptible or you're open for a counter, okay? You're open to the other guy hitting you or maybe getting closer to you to get on the offensive. That's why it's very important to keep yourself protected at all times. So this hand goes up and this acts as a frame. A frame meaning it's a separation between you and the opponent as you're getting off balance to kick. Okay, again, I'm doing it one more time here to demonstrate. I'm gonna step. I'm not kicking yet, okay? I'm just showing you the motions with what I'm doing for the rest of the body. So we're breaking it down into small segments of what we're doing before we actually kick. Okay. Go closer here. I'm gonna step. Hands up, step, step. Okay. Now that we got those two motions down, we step first at an angle. We keep our toes up and our heel comes off the ground. We then put our non-dominant hand on our face to protect us and throw the other hand like a ninja star as our dominant leg is getting ready to kick. Dominant meaning your back foot of your fight stance. So here, the back part of your leg is going to be your dominant leg. It's gonna be your power leg that you're gonna kick with the roundhouse. Now, I'm pretty much just gonna put these together, okay? And they all happen at the same time, but just for breaking it down purposes, I'm gonna separate them all together like I've been doing. So with the kick, when that kick comes up, you're gonna think in your head, this is from my MMA coach, and it helped me to get my foot to be weightless. You don't want your back foot, your dominant foot, to be stiff coming up, because number one, it draws less power, and number two, you're just gonna be stiff. Your whole body's gonna be stiff and it's gonna make less of an impact. So what he liked to say was, think of your leg like a noodle. Now, I know that sounds weird, and I thought it was weird at first, but every time I reminded myself that, well, what's a noodle? It's nice and weightless, and it moves effortlessly, I guess. So a noodle's like the last thing to being stiff. So think of your dominant leg, your kicking leg, as a noodle, okay? Again, it's weird, but it's gonna help you if you kind of visualize that as you kick, because it's gonna relax that foot and make it weightless like a noodle. So the next few steps, after you step this way, toes up and heel up, you put your hand up and then throw your hand like a ninja star. Now you're ready to throw the kick. Now remember guys, what I was telling you when you angle out, the reason why you're angling out is so that your hips have room to turn all the way over, okay? I'm gonna show you this a little bit before I go on and explain. This is what I mean. The reason why I'm stepping here is watch my hip when I throw my leg up. Okay? I'm gonna stop right here. Notice that my hip is directly facing the camera. It's directly facing you. That's how turned over you want your body to be, okay? I'll do it again, almost in real time. Notice how turned my body is again. My body is turned all the way to you. I'm not here on the side because it draws less power. If I'm only getting up to here, that doesn't really do anything. You want your hip to turn all the way over. And here's another good analogy to follow. You're trying to cut the bag in half, okay? That's why you're turned all the way over like that. So look, again, when I do the kick, notice that I'm trying to slice it with pretty much my shin. It's not here because if I was here, I'd be cutting upwards. Since I am here, I'm cutting directly down in half. That's what you want to think about. So think of it as trying to chop a tree right here horizontally, this way. Like you're chopping someone in half, okay? So now I'm gonna show you, since you had the thought of it being weightless like a noodle and why you're angling out so that your hip can turn all the way over for maximum power, I'm gonna show you how to do it all together now, okay? And again, guys, repetition is king. You have to keep doing it because number one, your body isn't used to those motions if you haven't kicked the proper way in your life. If you haven't done a proper Muay Thai roundhouse in your life, your body, not only do you need to know the technique, but your body's not gonna know what to do. I mean, you might not be that flexible. So, well, how do you get good at something? Well, you just keep doing it and your body will get used to those movements. Now be careful, you also don't wanna injure yourself. That's why I would caution you to take these step-by-steps just like how I directed over here. So foot first, hands up, ninja star, and then come up with the foot like a noodle, make it weightless with your dominant like a noodle, and then just come up with it. Do the motions first. Even if you don't have a bag around, just do the motion. Look, I'm not gonna do it with a bag. Okay, you can just do that. Make sure everything is working in one motion. So first step, here, I'm going to throw the ninja star while I block my face, and then I'm gonna turn my hip all the way over and go in for the kick, okay? So again, here, I'll do it nice and slow so that you can see. Notice, guys, I have my hand up to protect myself. If that was a human and it had arms, he's not gonna like that. And it's probably gonna try to punch me in the face because I kicked him really, really hard. So I'm framing off him in case he wants to try to attack me back, okay? And if I don't land the kick. So now I'll do it in real time to show you, as always, technique trumps everything as far as when it comes to power. You can kick with your leg, just your leg, as hard as you can. It still won't hit as hard as me doing it 20% with the proper technique, okay? With the hip turned over all the way to the camera, with me stepping at an angle, with me using my hand as a pendulum. And I may have forgot to mention this, but you're also using your hand as kind of a pendulum, a momentum swing for everything to come up, for your leg to come up. And of course, it adds power. But the most important part, I think, is that to get enough space between your hip and have your leg not be so stiff. Think of it, again, I can't emphasize this enough. Think of it as a noodle. It sounds weird, but when you think of it like that, it's gonna get weightless like a noodle. Okay, I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna do it in real time this time, just so that you see, once you get the proper techniques down, how powerful it is. Notice my arm is going up. This is coming forward. I'm creating enough space for my hip to turn all the way over. And my leg is really, really light, not stiff at all. And notice the impact of the bag. I'm trying to cut the bag in half, like I was saying. Back to your stance, guys, hands up. One more time. So guys, that right there wasn't even 100% of the force that I was using. I'd say it was like 60 to 70. Imagine what you could do with 100, okay? Proper technique trumps all. Keep doing the repetitions. Again, before we end this video, I want to explain to you. Go at an angle, step at an angle. Your toes are gonna come up. Your toes, you're gonna be on your toes, on the balls of your feet. Your heel is gonna come up. Your hand, the non-dominant hand, is gonna go to your face. You're gonna throw this one like a ninja star, and that leg is going to come up. And since you have the angle, it's gonna create space for your hip to turn all the way over and make your leg light like a noodle, okay? Again. And guys, you want to hit with your shin, okay? I probably should have mentioned that, but at times, you will hit it. You're not gonna be accurate most of the time, okay? Because a fight, there's just too much going on. So you might hit someone with your foot. Hell, you might hit someone with your knee. I've gotten hit with the knee, and it was just as brutal as a kick. Like, he was going for a kick, but I got hit with his this part of his knee, and I got cut open. Either way, it hurt just as bad, and it did a lot of damage. So you are going to hit them mostly with your shin though. But if they step back and you still get them with their foot, well, still good, right? So again, I'll show you one more time. All right, guys, and that is how you throw a roundhouse kick. As always, guys, put your hands up to your face after you do a kick or any other combination and you get back in your stance. My coach always said, don't admire your work, which means don't do a kick and just stand there and admire your work pretty much. Like, I know that kick is pretty when you get really good at it, but if you have someone coming at you in real life, you don't have time for that shit. So hands back to your face after each attack. Get back in your stance so you could properly defend yourself and use your blocks, use what you have to do, and then get back to punching and kicking and your combinations. All right? Thanks for watching, guys.